All right, so let's finish off the second part of chapter 18. So she said physics, and she says, well, yeah. Angela looked down at her hands. Jonah noticed too, she had her fingers knotted together, like she was suddenly very tense. Look, you're not going to believe me anyhow, so maybe I shouldn't even tell you this part. I've been working on this for 13 years, and it's gotten me nothing but scorn and mockery. And I've gotten no confirmation, no sign that what I believe is true, at least not since the first day. So maybe I should just pat your heads and tell you to run off and be good little children for your parents, and not to worry about where you came from. Don't be like me, obsessed and paranoid. And we already are, Chip said firmly. It's too late. Speak for yourself, Jonah thought. But he was dying to hear Angela's theory too. He couldn't walk away now either. Angela took a deep breath. Okay then, she said. One thing I saw that nobody else did, though I did report it when I was debriefed, before they began talking about confidentiality statements, was an insignia on the plane. An insignia on the plane. By the time everyone else saw the plane, it looked like any other SkyTrails regional jet. But when I first saw it, the plane's door said Tachyon Travel. Tachyon, Tachyon. You're all too young probably to have studied much physics. And anyway, this is very theoretical physics. So what's tachyon? Catherine asked. She always hated being talked down to or told she was too young for something. Tachyons are particles that travel faster than the speed of light, Angela said. The speed of light, Jonah thought? What's that got to do with anything? I thought nothing could travel faster than light, Catherine said, acting proud that she knew that. Well, nobody knows really, Angela said. She was speaking very carefully now, watching for their reactions. At least nobody knows yet. The theories are that if anything could go faster than light, all sorts of weird things would happen. Time and space would have a different relationship. Aging would be different. And if a plane could travel that fast, it'd become a time machine. Everyone stared at her. Chip was already shaking his head. Who'd send a bunch of babies in a time machine? He asked scornfully. What would be the point? I don't think anyone sent a bunch of babies in the time machine, Angela said, speaking very precisely. I think a bunch of adults got into a time machine. I think it was an experiment, one of the first attempts at time travel. They didn't understand all the effects. So they didn't realize what would happen when they arrived in our time. She paused, letting that sink in. You mean, Catherine asked. Jonah couldn't tell if she really understood or if she was just prompting Angela. I mean that Chip and Jonah used to be much older than they are now, Angela said. I think they were changed by traveling through time. I think they and all the other babies came from the future. And that is where we will leave it. Looking back at our image on the cover, and now maybe that is making just a little bit more sense.